What's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Mafex HUSH Superman. And this is kind of surreal having this figure because it was announced so long ago, and Mafex always takes such a long time from the point where they announce a figure to when it actually comes out. You almost forget about him, you know, and then when you get him, it's like, damn, I can't believe I actually have this. That's kind of what's going on with this guy here, but let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off with the packaging, it is the standard Mafex packaging. We can't see the figure through the window and the accessories he comes with. Up front, we get a shot of the figure. On the side, it says Batman Hush. Down here, it says Superman, Batman Hush, Mafex, and a bunch of information. On the side of the box, we get a shot of the figure. On the back, we get the figure in a couple of different poses, and then it shows him facing off with Batman here, and then we get to see some of the accessories, so that's always nice. Over here we get another shot of Superman. On the top of the box we get another shot of Superman, and on the bottom we got a bunch of bullshit. So that's about it for the packaging. It is collector friendly, so let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. Alright, so here we have Superman right out of the box, and man, this thing is a beast of a figure. Mafex did a good job on pretty much everything. He's got good articulation, he's got nice accessories, and he looks amazing. There's really just one thing that I wish was a little bit different about the way that he looks, and it's more of a personal preference, so it's not really a flaw or anything, but personally, I would have preferred if they used the yellow color on the symbol on his chest and on the belt. What we have here is more of a beige color. And it doesn't look bad at all, but personally, I would have preferred more of a yellow color. But aside from that, this thing looks perfect. I just love what we have going on here. They did such a great job, and I'll be honest with you, that little thing about the color on the chest and the belt is pretty much my only complaint about this figure. So, you know, spoiler, I love this thing, and I'm just going to be talking about how good it is this whole review. But let's go ahead and get into it here. So, he does have a really nice looking soft goods cape. The cape is not like a heavy cloth material, so the wires have no problem holding the cape up, so you could get it into like cool positions or whatever, but that looks awesome. So they're improving with their capes. With the Hush Batman, they used some like thick material and it wasn't very good. The wires wouldn't hold, but with Superman, we don't have that problem. And the wires are pretty thick, so you know, you could pose them around and do your thing. And let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the cape, because we do have the symbol of hope that looks really nice. And yeah, just in general, man, this is such a good looking figure. And the head sculpt on Superman is very well done. I do like the expression. He looks like he's ready to whoop some ass, but the details on it are very good too. I like the eyes, the skin tone, everything about it looks very nice. And then the hair is black with a bit of a blue wash, and it does have a very comic book look to it, so I think this head sculpt came out dope. And the alternate head sculpt is very nice as well. As you can see, this time around he's got an angry facial expression. This is also supposed to be for when Poison Ivy has him under her control, so I think this is nice. He's got red eyes, we can see his teeth, and just everything about this head sculpt looks nice. And then once again, his hair is black with a bit of blue shading to bring out some of the details. So yeah, both head sculpts are really, really good. And then moving down into the body, we do have the symbol of hope on his chest, and I like it, but like I said before, I wish that it was a little more yellow in there. But as it is, it does look good. It's very well painted. And the sculpting work on him is nice too. He does have some nice muscle definition. The upper body is broad. He looks strong, and it just looks like a really good Superman figure. Here around the waist, he does have the belt, and just like the logo, I wish this was a little bit more yellow. He's got like a soft piece for the pelvis here, so it doesn't really get in the way of the articulation, and it still hides the hip joints. Thigh cut is hidden. Everything just looks really good. Mafex is really good at incorporating the articulation into the figure without ruining the way it looks. But yeah, just everything about the way this figure looks is very well done. Then moving down to the lower legs here, he does have some sculpting work for his boots. They're not just painted on or anything like that. Now let's take a look at the cape. On the back we do have the logo, which looks nice, and all the stitching is very well done, so the cape is good. So yeah, even though Superman has a pretty simple, straightforward design, I think Mafex killed it, and they gave us a really good looking figure. And aside from the two heads that we've already looked at, Superman does come with a bunch of other really cool accessories, including multiple sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists, and then we have a set of open dramatic hands. We've got a set of open relaxed hands, and then of course he has a set of flat open hands that could be used for flight poses. And then the final set of hands are like a fist, but it kind of has like an open grip, and I guess this could be used to hold on to his cape. And this is kind of more useful for Batman. I really don't see Superman like holding his cape in front of his face like that. That's more of a Batman thing, but it's cool that they threw him in there. Speaking of Batman, they also gave us an additional hand for Batman, and this has a kryptonite ring on it, so that's really cool that they gave us accessories for another character. And then he also comes with these poison ivy parts that go on his arms and around his neck. And now for some size comparisons, here we have Superman alongside the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman and the Mafex Black Suit Hush Batman. And man, at this point, I would say that Mafex is giving us the best DC figures available. There's a couple different companies out there that make DC figures, obviously, but I don't think any of them are coming close to Mafex. I think they're just killing it. And they were kind of off to a rocky start with the blue suit Hush Batman because the cape just wasn't executed very well, but I think they made up for it with the black version. And you know, the Dark Knight Batman and Superman are just incredible figures, so they're killing it. But anyways, I love the way these three look together. I think the Hush Superman and Hush Batman go together very well. They look like they're about the same size, but Superman does look like he's bigger and more muscular, and I do like that a lot. That he obviously looks stronger than Batman, but he doesn't look like he towers over him. He doesn't look like a big monster next to him or anything like that. So I like the size of these two figures and how they match up, so I think they did a good job with the scale. And then for those of you that want to get some Marvel and DC crossover action, here we have Superman alongside the Mafex Wolverine and Mafex Spider-Man. And mixing up these two lines doesn't really work because Mezco tend to be a little bit bigger than Mafex stuff, but here we have the Mafex Superman alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Flash and the Mezco 112 Collective Classic Superman. And I think they really need to revisit Superman. This guy doesn't really hold up all that well. I mean, he's still pretty cool, but seeing him next to the Mafex Superman, he looks kind of ridiculous. I still like that Flash a lot though. I think they did a good job on that one. And speaking of Flash, I would love to see a Mafex Flash. Holy shit, that would be dope. And next up, we have Mafex Superman alongside the DC Icons Flash and DC Icons Superman. And DC Icons were 6-inch scale figures, but I guess they were considered true 6-inch, so they were a little bit smaller, and their scale was more in line with something like Mafex or Figure Arts versus something like Marvel Legends that scaled a little bit bigger. So I always felt that DC Icons figures look pretty nice with certain imports. And in this case, I think Flash looks awesome with the Mafex Superman. I think the DC Icons Superman was too small, like his scale was off within his own line, but Flash was good. And as you can see in this case, I think these two figures look nice together, so I might have to keep this Flash along with my Mafex Batman and Mafex Superman until Mafex comes along and gives us a Flash. Even if they announce it tomorrow, I'll still have this Flash on my shelf for 2 years because who knows when it would come out, right? But yeah, I think DC Icons is a line that never really got a fair shot. I really like that line, and I was liking it more and more as the line went on, but then DC Collectibles just kind of lost faith in it or something, and they just kind of abandoned it. But I'm glad that I still have a couple laying around. But yeah, this Flash looks really good with this Mafex Superman in my opinion. And then next up, we have him alongside the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America and the Mezco 112 Collective Supreme Knight Batman. And as you can see, Captain America is quite a bit bigger than Superman, so that might be tough to make that work if you want to do some Boy Scout crossover kind of thing. But man, as much as I love the 80th Anniversary Captain America, I'd be really interested in seeing a Mafex Captain America. I'm sure they would do a great job, but you know, this Marvel Legends one is damn near perfect, so it's not like I don't feel like I need a Mafex Captain America, but I think they would do a great job, so I don't know, maybe one of these days. But anyways, moving on. And then next up, we have Superman alongside the DC Icons Hal Jordan Green Lantern and the Mezco 112 Collective John Stewart Green Lantern. And man, I need to backtrack and get the John Stewart Icons Green Lantern figure. I missed out on that one. But yeah, as you can see here, Hal Jordan looks pretty good next to Superman, but John Stewart over on the right does look a little bit too big. So Mezco's can't really work with Mafex, but once again, DC Icons look pretty damn good next to Mafex. Here we have Superman alongside the DC Icons Aquaman and the Mezco 112 Collective Aquaman. And just to bring in some random 6-inch stuff, here we have him alongside the Lightning Collection Lord Dracon and the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. And then of course we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cat. And just like most Mafex figures, Superman does have a really nice amount of articulation. So starting off at the head, it does move side to side. He's got a little bit of tilt going. He could look down to about right there. And that's pretty nice, but unfortunately, he can't really look up all that much. And he has movement at the lower neck and where the head meets the neck, so you would think that we'd be able to get a little bit more out of it, but that's about it right there. So you're gonna have to get a little creative when you're trying to get him into those Superman flight poses. Luckily, you could compensate for the lack of movement at the neck with the torso. So you could kind of lean him back a little bit and you could achieve those flight poses. So that works, but I do wish that the head was able to look up a little bit more. And then for the torso, we do have a diaphragm cut. The diaphragm cut is able to move side to side. We get some twist. It can't really crunch forward all that much. It only crunches forward to about right there. Comes back to right there. So the diaphragm cut itself doesn't really get all that much movement, but he also has a ball joint at the waist, and using both of those, you're able to get him to crunch way forward. Look at that. That's awesome. I really like the way that Mafex does torsos. You're able to get a lot of good movement out of this. Look at that. Get him to go to the side a crazy amount, and you could really get some dramatic poses with this kind of joint. It does go way back, so again, that helps with the flight poses. And yeah, some really good stuff at the torso here. And then for the arms, we do have that typical Mafex style butterfly joint. So you could get his arms in front of him for punching. And there is a little bit of space right here, so his chest doesn't really get in the way of his arms. You know, you could just get him into these poses very easily. So really good stuff there. And the arms do go all the way around, as you could see. They come out to the side to about right there. And then he does have upper bicep swivel. He's got double jointed elbows. Bam! That's a really nice bend. At the wrist, we have a ball joint, so we get some swivel, we get a hinge, and we also get a swivel at the hand itself. So good stuff at the hands. For the legs, we have awesome drop down hips. Bam! So they drop down like that. You could kick them forward to about right there. And his, underwear or over underwear, whatever you want to call this stuff, is like a soft material, so it really doesn't get in the way when you're moving his legs. So look at that. And then you could bring his legs out to the side to about right there. There we go. You could bring him back to right there. Again, you could see how this like soft material just kind of moves out of the way. And then he does have upper thigh swivel that's hidden in there, which I love. And then at the legs, we have double jointed knees. Bam! There we go. There's no boot swivel, but he does have a swivel at the ankle. He's got a little ball joint at the ankle just like he did at the wrist. And with that, we get a swivel, we get a hinge. Could go forward to about right there, bring it up to right there. And then he has toe articulation. So the articulation on Superman is really nice. The only thing I wish was a little bit better is the head and neck area, but aside from that, the articulation on him is pretty much perfect. He's a lot of fun to pose around and get into some like really dope Superman fighting poses and everything. So it's really easy to mess with. Everything's very fluid and smooth, and all the joints feel good too. I didn't have to worry about anything breaking. I will say that the hips did make me a little nervous at first, so I did have to drop a little bit of oil in there. So this is the oil that I use for that kind of stuff. I just put a little drop in there, then I start moving it around, and once I did that, this figure was 100% fun to mess around with and play with, and there was no worries at all, Alright, so I'm sure it's no surprise, but I think this is an awesome figure. Mafex did a good job on pretty much everything. He's got some really good articulation, he's a lot of fun to pose and play with, he's got some good accessories, and he just looks amazing. The one thing that I wish was different about him is the color on the chest logo and on the belt. In my opinion, I think that should have been a little bit more yellow. As it is, it's kind of beige. It still looks really good, but I think it would have looked a little bit better if that stuff was more yellow than beige. But still, aside from that, I feel like this figure is basically perfection. I can't think of anything else I would have wanted out of a Superman figure, and Mafex, they're killing it. I just really hope that they continue to give us more DC figures, because like I said before, I don't feel like there's a lot of options out there for quality DC figures, so it's nice that somebody like Mafex is coming along and giving us like definitive versions of these classic characters, because man, this thing is just so well done. I'm so happy with this guy. I'm so happy with the Dark Knight Returns Batman. The Black Hush Batman was really good. The only one that slightly disappointed me was the Blue Hush Batman, and it's just because the cape was a little too crazy. Seems like they tried to experiment a little bit, and it really didn't go that well, but they made up for it with the Black Hush Batman. And Mafex has been doing some great things with Marvel comic characters for a couple of years now, so it's nice that they finally got to DC, and it's good to see that they're doing such a good job with it. So I would say if you're a big Superman fan, that I strongly suggest that you pick this guy up sooner rather than later, because I feel like he's going to increase in price just like Spider-Man did. So don't sleep, jump on him as soon as you can. I know Mafex is expensive, but you know, they give us like the definitive versions of certain characters, and I feel like this is the definitive Superman, and I might have to do like a Superman comparison video with a bunch of different Superman figures. We'll see, but I feel like it's going to be hard for anybody to compare to this. Maybe I'm hyped up because he's so new, so I might give it a couple of weeks before I tackle that and just kind of let my emotions settle. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other DC characters Mafex decides to do. It seems like they like to focus on certain storylines and give us a bunch of characters from that, like Dark Knight Returns or Hush. I think it'd be cool if they focused on Flashpoint and gave us a really good Flash figure, and then maybe like Thomas Wayne or, you know, that version of the Joker where it's Bruce's mom or whatever. I think that'd be fun, but mostly I just want to see Mafex give us a really good Flash figure. I think they would kill it. I know they would, actually. But yeah, hopefully they get around to doing that. Let me know what DC characters you would like to see Mafex do, or what storylines you'd like to see them focus on. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Let me know. I look forward to hearing what people have to say. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I do lives every Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. on both days, Pacific time. So come through, talk some toys, talk some shit, and let's get weird. Thank you very much. Peace.